Everybody. I hope y'all are having a great day. Today, I want to talk about how to know when God is working in your lives. Um, I hope that you are blessed and that you find God's grace, mercy, and favor on today. But about how to know God is working in your life, that's a really good question that I often find myself even asking myself. Um, and also understanding that recognizing that God's present in your life isn't always straightforward. There's not always a sign that you look for, but there are several ways for you to develop your awareness so that you know that God is working in your life. So, number one, I think the most obvious answer to that question is God answering your prayers? When you experience a direct response to your prayers, that can definitely be a powerful sign of knowing that God is intervening and He's working, He's moving mountains for you, right? But also on the flip side, when your prayers are unanswered, that's also a way for you to know that God is working in your life. Because sometimes He keeps us away from dangers. He helps us to avoid inconveniences. That's just the nature of God's grace. His grace is His favor. So even if it means not answering your prayers, God is still doing what's best for you. So answer prayers, but sometimes even the prayers that go unanswered. When God is telling us no, that could be the best thing for us. So we have to recognize that and we have to spend time with God so that we can reflect and learn and also just see Him working in our lives. Another way for you to recognize God's working in your life is what I call coincidences, but what others would call God's favor. And I agree that is God's favor. I think the world calls it a coincidence, right? But what I'm getting at here is that you're at the right place at the right time, right? And understanding that the moment is as it should be. Have you ever prayed for something and it just happened at the right place at the right time? I would say that's God's way of knowing, well, your way of knowing that God is working in your life. Another thing is changes and growth. Sometimes we see change as a bad thing. Maybe you have to, relocate from a job, or maybe you have to end a friendship that becomes toxic, or maybe you're just thinking differently now. Maybe you're being more positive and you're noticing that, or maybe you find yourself depending on God more. Maybe you find yourself relying on God more. Maybe you find yourself asking for help, right? Sometimes we have so much pride that we don't even want to ask for help. We want to figure out things on our own. And I'm speaking for myself. So, whenever you see or notice any changes in yourself for the better, that's also a blessing as well. Whenever you know that you're moving in the right direction and you're making the right decisions and you're looking to please God, that's a blessing because it's no guarantee that we're going to take what life throws at us and use it for good, right? So that's definitely something. And my next point is a perfect segue to that, is inner peace and joy. When you are able to take the troubles of life and the challenges of life and look at it in a way that you know that it's going to work out for your good and that you have peace in the midst of a storm, that's a sign of God's presence. That's a sign of God's goodness because God, He offers security and comfort that transcends all understanding. So you know that God is working in you and you know that God is working in your life when you can depend on Him and you can say, peace, be still, and God will definitely work it out for you. So those are some of the more obvious ways that we know God is working out for us. But there's some more indirect signs, right? For example, challenges and setbacks. When life seems hard and difficulties seem undesirable, they can serve as an opportunity for growth and for learning. God may allow these circumstances to strengthen you, to give you more faith, to draw you closer to Him. That's really a blessing in disguise when you think about it. Because even in those difficult times, God is still bringing you towards Him. No matter what's going on, God can still bring you towards Him. So that's a work. That's God working in your life. That's how you know God is working in your life. What about dissatisfaction with the world? Maybe you see the news and you're tired of the drama. You're tired of the distress. You're tired of the terror. You're tired of the sadness. You're tired of unfortunate worldly events. Well, if you're dissatisfied with the world, God can also be bringing you closer to Him. That could be Him nudging you saying, peace can be found with me. Forget about what's going on in the world. The peace can be found with me. So sometimes we need to turn off all of those distractions that the world is feeding us daily through media, advertising, things like that, and draw near to God. That might be His sign to draw to Him. Another thing is broken relationships. They can be extremely painful, but they can also be opportunities for healing and forgiveness as well. God can use those experiences to reveal His love, to reveal His grace in unexpected ways. So I want you to think about these things the next time you wonder if God is working in your life. And there's some other ways that you can recognize God's work. We can spend time in prayer, which is the obvious answer, but we can also engage in Bible study. We can surround ourselves with positive people. We can practice gratitude and appreciation, because part of this whole thing of knowing if God is working in our lives is being able to recognize how He has blessed us right here and right now. If we can just set some time aside to think about what God is already doing for you today, then you already know the answer to that question. You already know that God is working in your life. You just haven't taken the time to say thank you. Thank you. There are so many things that we can be grateful for, and I don't know what you're going through, but if you're watching this video, you can be grateful for being alive. So if you can look up, you can get up. That's what I heard, and that's what I believe. And I hope you're blessed today. Know that God loves you. Know that God will never leave or forsake you. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. If you have any questions, comments, put them in the comment section. Hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop some daily words or wisdom. And have a blessed day.